today Brian and I are here with Susan Shane. She is a wellness entrepreneur and she's here to talk to us about all things wellness and some energy stuff. So thank you for joining us, Susan. We appreciate it. How are you today?
Oh, today is wonderful. Thank you both for having me have this opportunity to share some wellness insights. We have so much busyness happening that anytime we can boost ourselves right now, I feel honored to share a few ideas and thoughts.
Well, thank you. Can you, just for everybody in the audience, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and sort of that journey to the wellness field?
This whole journey was completely unexpected. Back in the 80s, when dancing had movies such as Chorus Line, Flashdance, the TV show Fame, I fell in love with that and I just wanted to dance. That's all I knew I had to do with my career and my life. So off I went to Los Angeles, danced for a bit of time. And through that, people started asking me, could you teach me how to exercise? Could you teach me how to have the energy that you have? And before you know it, I was a private trainer in the Hollywood scene. And I had incredible clients, producers, entertainers, accountants, architects, I mean, people from all different walks of life, executives. It was really fun to work with these professionals and help them feel healthy. I didn't know that that's what my focus would be from the dancing. I just knew I had to follow my heart and start dancing. And when the hours got really crazy, I could train an attorney at 2 a.m. I could train a producer, at 10 at night. I wasn't having regular sleep or a regular schedule. I needed to make a big decision. And within a week, I started the graduate school for traditional Chinese medicine. And that's where I learned all about acupuncture and all of this ancient wisdom that you can use to really be healthy and take care of your body. I had no idea how that would be a game changer and make my life better and all the people that I work with. So I had no idea that from following my dance drive and just wanting to be a part of that scene, if you watch Chorus Line or Fame or any of those movies, you see how fun it is. That's all I wanted to do. And then realize that I could help people with their bodies and their health and prevent surgeries or help them get more energy or keep their hectic schedule going. That was really rewarding. And now knowing how to add in the traditional Chinese medicine insight to somebody's health and well-being, it's a trifecta and it's really fun in addition to being helpful. That's a short version of the journey from the 80s to now.
So, all right. So we initially reached out because we were interested in energy for, that was really the focus. I drink a lot of coffee. Brian drinks a lot of Red Bull. Mm-hmm. You're proposing that there is an alternative to these caffeinated beverages, correct?
Yeah, there are other options. About that. My first question will bounce back to each of you. How come you're choosing the coffee? If I saw somebody and they were drinking a lot of coffee or a lot of Red Bull, I need to know a little bit more. So let me ask you, why are you having so much coffee? Then I can answer that question.
Because I'm tired.
Yeah, Nicolette.
Because I don't sleep because I have a 5-year-old that never sleeps, and I'm, up at 4:30 and I'm sleeping at midnight and I'm tired.
Because you're tired and you're not getting enough sleep with your baby. So how much coffee are you drinking when you say a lot? Everybody's a lot is different. Some people have 2 cups and they're done. Some people will have 6. So that's why I also ask.
My husband drinks about 6 cups a day, but I have a large. I wake up with a coffee and then I have a large and then I have one in the afternoon and maybe in the evening.
Possibly. She means like the giant, like 20.
And by one, one.
Yeah. That's one for her.
And the other part is once you drink the coffee, do you feel really jittery or buzzy, or do you just feel alert and that's where you want to be?
Yeah, I just feel alert. I don't get the jittery. I could use the buzzy every once in a while, but no, I just get alert. Finally the headache goes away and I can think a little bit clearer. Yeah.
Okay. So knowing that your sleep schedule isn't ideal, that you have to be really on as a mom and then with the rest of your life, and knowing that you're using the coffee, it just creates a circle where you're using up all your energy. Every day you have a certain amount of energy. And how you use it will determine your well-being and also your future energy. So if you're forcing the coffee to keep you going, you're taking that extra energy from the future to keep you on track. But it's also, in doing that, not allowing you to get the proper rest or the proper balance so that you could have your own natural energy without the coffee. Does that make sense before I say more?
So I'm stealing energy from myself. Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying?
From your future self.
From my future self.
You're forcing yourself to keep going, even though you might need to slow down or recalibrate or do something a little bit differently. And this is really common. People use coffee to get through their day. It is so ordinary. However, in traditional Chinese medicine, you're taught you have so much energy, or qi, Qi, however you want to spell it. And there's no equivalent to call it but energy. It's not exactly, you'd say, your life force. It's what fortifies you. In any event, if you're always tapping into that reserve and you're always pushing beyond what is okay and using something to make sure you get through, you can realize that you're going to crash. You can realize that later on down the line, something else could happen, or you'll be tired no matter what. And using coffee to that extent will cause the headaches. And then when you stop the coffee, you'll feel the headaches. So it becomes this circle and cycle of just pushing, pushing, pushing. Learning some other tools to fortify would be nice. And then little by little, maybe doing a little less, because it sounds like a lot. And maybe looking at your schedule, is there a way you can get your son to sleep a little bit more?
Maybe you can help me. Can you?
Yeah. So there's ways of you calming your child so that you can get better schedules. You can also maybe find ways not to just go to coffee, like, here, let me try this other. And that's what we can talk about, the approach that I've been using to help people with this situation. And just really realizing you can do this for a while and push and push and push, but you're already knowing that it's too much for your body from what you described. And you're realizing that later on down the road, your body may not be able to keep it going this way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, Byron, how come you're doing the Red Bull?
Well, so basically, I am one of those people. Like, I mean, besides this quarantine, like, I'm a jiu-jitsu guy, so I'm very active, very physical, right? So, mine is like, I am just one of those people, like, I'll have a 20-hour day and sleep 4 hours, So I'm trying to get everything I can out of life with all the things I want to do and accomplish. So I'm like, slowing down a little. And it's usually, honestly, for me, it's a little bit of clarity in the brain more than it is the physical, I need more energy because I'm pretty energetic. So it clears up my brain a little bit. I feel like it gets me back on focus a little more than if I didn't have it, So. Okay.
And how much Red Bull are you drinking?
It depends. Usually like two. Usually like two a day. Like a 8-ounce one. But there are days. Don't get me wrong. There are days where I've had 3 of them, or maybe 2 bigger ones, or So I'm not gonna But that's pretty much the only thing I drink besides water. So I feel like at least I'm flushing my system with something else at some point.
Water is good, and it's the same principle with the Red Bull. It's just keeping you at that busy state, in that busy way. And we've all been running our lives at such a fast forward speed, and understandably so, for different reasons. And we feel like we have to. And in traditional Chinese medicine, you want to be in the middle too. You want to be able to not always be in fight or flight, or always at that top speed level. When you do that, simply put, your sympathetic system is constantly on. And then the parasympathetic system can't relax and it can't rejuvenate and restore. The reason you sleep is so that you can rejuvenate, get your cells, your muscles, your tissue, everything to heal, right? There's a reason for having quality sleep, and more research shows we're not getting enough. So just in general, if we're always in sympathetic mode, move, go, and we're not getting enough relaxing and calm is powerful too and important. Once again, you're going to maybe at some point hit a road where those Red Bulls aren't going to cut it, keep you there. And we've sort of decided that it's okay to be this fast paced no matter what. And traditional Chinese medicine wants you to say, be busy, but also learn that there is importance and find ways to be calm and to learn how to balance your body and not use up, force that energy. If you didn't have Red Bull, what would your day look like? If you didn't eat, what would your day look like?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. That just lets you know how much you really are able to do if you didn't have that, right? What look like, and that's the gap between using the stimulants and the things that make you stay alert.
Well, that doesn't give me much hope, because I'd be pretty crappy. I don't know. The other day I went to the beach and I just had 1 cup of coffee in the morning, right? I'm sorry, Brian. I know
It's okay.
I had 1 cup of coffee in the morning because I didn't want to go to the bathroom on the drive, right? And the beach was really far from the bathroom on the beach, so I didn't want to have to pee all day. So I only had that 1 cup in the morning. And by 2 o'clock, I was like, I gotta go home. My head, I can't think anymore. I can't see. I need to just, oh man. Oh man.
Dehydrated is.
I drink water like crazy. I am a crazy water drinker.
And that's really good too, is to support yourself with the water. It just lets you know that without the coffee, you wouldn't have the energy to keep going. And what happens is when you start to recalibrate that, you could say, if you have 5 cups a day, you could go to 4 and then throw in the new tip. You could go to 3 and throw in the new tip 2 times. You could start learning some things so that you have a smooth middle of the road energy that feels alert and feels really strong. It doesn't have to, as busy as we are trying to make ourselves feel, if we don't have that upper energy, it's an interesting frequency to function at, but it also in the long run will take away. So you have to learn how to add in this other part. And I think that there's starting to be some emphasis on slowing down and restoring and calming your body as well as you go through your busy lifestyle. And it's really, really valuable. Really valuable.
So how important, because I do this sometimes, I'll take like either a power nap or even like sometimes float in like Epsom salt for like, 10, 20 minutes. And then I'm like, boom, it feels like I slept like for 8 hours and then I'll be up for like another 4, but it's only like 10 minutes. Like I take like these 10-minute naps or, so how important is that too, to sort of let your mind sort of relax out of it? Because that seems to restore me personally.
What you just said, those two examples are perfect. They're really great options, because if you've been pushing and going and you didn't do anything to fortify, those 2, power nap or an Epsom salt bath, would be absolutely fabulous to help your body feel better again. And don't you feel really good after, like you're saying?
Yeah, but then I'm up. What happens is then I don't go to bed till like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. because I'm like, it's like
you gotta time that power nap and that.
I know.
But you can see how much better you feel by doing that versus a Red Bull, right?
Yes, it's true.
Right. So what you felt in that time after a power nap or the Epsom salt bath, you're going to be feeling like more of the time, and it's a very natural, high energy feeling without that overuse with the Red Bull or the caffeine from the coffee.
Brian, you just reminded me of something. So what is the connection between your mental exhaustion and your physical exhaustion? Because I ask this because there are nights where I really feel like I am going to crash. I am tired. My son is still running around. It's 10 o'clock. He's not anywhere near ready to sleep, and then there's this moment where he's now asleep, and suddenly I'm like, I don't know what I was so tired about. I feel great. I can go sit down on the couch now and do something for 2 hours, and I feel good without anything. I just feel as though before I could have fallen asleep, and now he is asleep, and my mind is now a little bit less stressed and clear. And now I have all this energy. Is there a connection between the mental and the physical exhaustion or are they different? I mean, how do they play with each other?
To me, what you just described was the mommy radar. It takes a lot of energy. You're on, you're watching, you're paying attention. And the minute that mommy radar is like switched off, you can breathe and you can be more what you need to be for yourself.
Am I really that tired then? If you can switch that, is it kind of like, how am I faking myself out then? Or how does that?
Mommy radar is using up a lot of your attention mentally and physically, and that's fine. And after that, then you could do something restorative for yourself, knowing that you've had the coffee, knowing that you've been up and aware and attentive for your child. But now you could do the Epsom salt bath. You could do maybe a power nap, put your feet up in a restorative yoga pose. You could do some of the hand energetics that I try to share with people. They find that as a quick self-care tool really powerful and helpful.
That's one of the things we were going to ask about. So what is hand energetics? Tell us about that.
Hand energetics is a self-care system where you just use your hand, the front and the back of your hand. There are tiny little acupuncture, not real needles because you couldn't needle yourself, but they are acupuncture points called acupoints. By using these acupoints, these little tiny areas on your hand, and knowing which ones to use correctly, you can balance your energy. You can calm yourself if you've been super stressed. You can totally tonify and energize if you're feeling sluggish. There's a lot to do to change the energy within your body. And the real beauty of this hand energetics is that it is based on the ancient acupuncture system, 5,000 years. It's been around a long time. And in the 1970s, the Dr. Tai Wu decided to remap the entire full body map onto your hand. So that makes it accessible for anybody and everybody. He used needles, but it isn't necessary to do that now because another teacher, and he studied from Dr. Tai Wu, Dr. Steven Steitler, is using magnets on the hand, and you can use acupressure. So you have some tools for yourself. Do the acupressure. You could add in some biomark magnets, and they're very specialized. They're not refrigerator magnets. You have to go to the hand energetics. You have to spend some time with me, and then I can help you out in deciding if the magnets are necessary or if the acupressure suffices. And you can start to learn to balance your own energy, whether it's mental or physical, emotional. If you need more energy, if it's something starting to ache, calm that. You can find out these tools, and it's super helpful because in the middle of a headache or a backache, you can't always run out and go somewhere. You can't even go get an Advil to help out, right? But if you knew how to use your hand, you can really alleviate some discomfort. If your thoughts are ruminating, you can't get to sleep again because of whatever's been going on through your day, you can start using those points that are theoretical to help calm your body. It's a valuable, really valuable way to self-care. And given COVID, a lot of people have been feeling panicked and learning some simple points on their hand. They can really just breathe again and calm down and start dealing with their everyday new normal lifestyle.
So is there something that users would purchase? Do they first talk to you and then you guide them? Are there sessions? How does this work?
What we have found to be really helpful is to have a session, because just like I asked you both why you might use the coffee or the Red Bull, I need to know a little bit more about the person that is looking for self-care techniques and tips to feel better. If we just say the hand map, here's the product, or here's how you do the acupressure, it doesn't seem to be enough. I thought that that would be okay. I thought, oh, here's the tool, but really people need to share a little bit more, and then I can help them bridge and mapping and how to use it. And then they take it from there. Sometimes one session is fine. Sometimes people carry on and we go deeper. It depends. I just want to help to the level that is necessitated. And so usually a session will give me an overview, and then I will share as much as I possibly can. Here's your hand. This is what you do. And this is how you're going to help you specifically using the traditional Chinese medicine information. That ancient wisdom is so valuable. And then using the modernization of the 1970 hand mapping, and then offering the acupressure or magnet option based on the 1980 modernization of neodymium magnets. So you have this modern technology and this ancient wisdom merged together to help you balance your body. And I think if you have this session and you share a little bit more about yourself, you can really find out some specific points to use on your hand, specific, right, front and back. And then you get to decide, you get to experience, and people feel shifts immediately, right away. When I was lecturing at corporations, I'd say, who has a shoulder ache? Who has a headache? Just to shout out in a group. And then if someone said something, I would show them and they would apply the magnet. And right then and there, as it happened, as they put the magnet to their skin, and you use an adhesive, I let everyone decide, Scotch tape, painter's tape, nurse's tape, a waterproof tape, you know, whatever tape, everyone's different about that. So I don't say use one kind, you decide. But in the moment with the tape, they felt a significant shift, and some people completely were alleviated from whatever that musculoskeletal situation was that was causing them pain. It's great.
Are there any points you use on yourself typically?
Oh, yeah. And I change it up. It depends, but I do things for what I was mentioning about rejuvenating and nourishing my body. I have certain points that are really, really helpful to keep my immunity up, to keep my energy strong, to help me stay focused mentally. And then if something, you know, just like anybody, if my shoulder is a little achy or whatever, I can add those in, right? I mix it up all the time, but I use the magnets regularly with this hand mapping system. Mm-hmm. And I also, when I travel before COVID, I would use it for jet lag, and I didn't get the jet lag, and it didn't matter where I was. I thought that was great. I know a lot of the business people that I would work with, they were using it for travel, and it was saving them. So there are great things if your sleep cycle is off, how to get it back on track.
And how long do you keep the magnets on?
We suggest 15 to 30 minutes. That's usually enough. And children need less. I find children in 5 to 10 minutes really shift, and then they're calm and whatever needs balancing happens.
So Susan, close us out with some tips. What can we start doing, you know, aside from obviously coming to talk to you about the system, what are some things naturally on our daily lives that we can start doing to really get more out of, you know, more energy, really focus on the wellness and, you know, our well-being?
Two things quickly come to mind are making sure that you're breathing deeply through your day. You really want to inhale, you really want to exhale. I'm sure with the jiu-jitsu, you know, you got to use your breath with your body as you're moving.
Yeah.
If you're sitting a lot, you can't forget if you're breathing. You have to remember to maybe take a little recess and do some really big inhales and exhales. I find that that is super successful, because if we just tighten up and we're not paying attention to our breath, we feel so much more stressed. Mm-hmm. That's super fast. And then the other is what comes to mind. So this is the one I'm going to share, is finding a way to garden. And it's kind of interesting. I feel like telling people, even if you're in an apartment, you could plant some herbs You could plant a little veggie of some sort that you like and see how it grows. Gardening is very healing. In Chinese medicine, there's a reason gardening is suggested as an exercise. But also, if you grow herbs and you cut them and you cook with them, they're really good for your immune system and your overall health. I think those two are doable. I would suggest having an herb garden, maybe veggie, something that you like, go find it. And if you can be outside, then make a space. And it's fun to take care of. And it's also very good for you.
Mhm. I mean, I like, what's interesting is I like growing plants and gardening and all that stuff. But what I find funny is I'm like, since the pandemic, I'm like, oh, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. Let me go check my plants to see if the squirrels have eaten them. Like,
Exactly.
like,
I've been gardening more than ever
funny.
because of that space. And if I see a snail, and we have squirrels, and yeah, no, gardening is also good to do during this time that we're trying to, handle.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, no, gardening's really great. And the earth and just being outside is great.
Yeah. Now, so some people, so, and I know this may be completely different than the hand energetics, but what about grounding? Like some people, believe in grounding yourself, like walking around with no shoes on, right? Because, you're talking about all this energy in the earth, all this energy in people. That's, how important is that? Because I do that too. I walk around with either flip-flops on or pretty much no shoes, even when I'm
Love
outside.
that. People really like that, being with the earth that way for various reasons. Yeah, people really like that.
I walk around with no shoes, but I don't even think about it. I just hate shoes. Well, Susan, is there anything else you want to share with us? And please tell us where we can learn more about hand energetics, more about you, and leave us with something good.
Well, hopefully whoever is listening might find something helpful to encourage and to inspire and to maybe balance their daily lifestyle. My whole idea behind talking and sharing information that we've called hand energetics and also the balancing method, those two descriptions are really easy to learn about. And my hope is that people will take a moment just to try to figure out maybe 1 or 2 points for their body and give it a shot, like just go there. And if they have more questions, to please tell me more about themselves, and then we can find out a way to consult. And then I can really offer what hand energetics and the balancing method have to offer. And in saying that, the easiest way to find out more individually is to go to handenergetics.com or balancing.com. So that's BALANZING.com. The Z is for the zing, and that's for the magnet use. It's really important that we learn to be resilient now. It's really important that we learn to be more peaceful and calm as we are getting stronger and more connected and healthier as a planet. And this information is a tool that will serve your life. So I hope that people at least give it a thought and then maybe try it out too, to self-care.
Well, thank you so much, Susan. Thank you for joining us today.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.